If your job at a healthcare facility includes disinfecting against viruses, you know prevention is the best medicine, and maintaining healthy spaces starts with a healthy cleaning routine. Grainger's world-class supply chain helps ensure you have the quality products you need when you need them, from disinfectants and cleaning supplies to personal protective equipment, so you can help deliver a clean bill of health. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Welcome to the Rom-Com Rewind Podcast.
Hi, I'm Sarah.
And I'm Devin.
And like you, I love rewatching movies over and over again.
You made it here, you found us, you love romantic comedies, we do as well.
So this is a show where we rewatch rom-coms, break them down a bit for you, maybe take a peek behind the curtain, dig beneath the surface, and decide, does it still hold up?
This is your Rom-Com Rewind Pop Culture Roundup for the 2023 Academy Awards.
Oscar edition.
Sure. In our listener survey, we talked to you about different episode ideas, what you would be down to hear more of. We kind of want to let you steer the ship for this podcast. Tell us what you want to hear. And one thing that you resoundingly told us that you want to hear is more kind of like pop culture, timely moments that happen in the world that are just, I think we did our listener survey around this time last year, and slap had just occurred. Mm-hmm. The slap. And you said we would have loved an episode on on kind of those things, those moments when they happen. So we're trying to bring you a little bit more of that. Pop culture roundup.
Sprinkle them in,
Exactly. So here is our 2023 Oscars edition on that, because a lot of iconic moments happened, some very memeable moments. There's so much to talk about, and especially I want to present this from a standpoint of maybe you didn't watch the Oscars. Totally cool. Your best friends, Sarah, Devin, your RCR fam, we're going to bring you through all the important stuff, funny stuff, water cooler conversation stuff that you should know about this year's Oscars. Starting with, I kind of have this written down in terms of categories similar to the Oscars. The kickoff. Jimmy Kimmel is back as host.
Right.
He's hosted, I think, twice now, maybe more.
2 or 3 times, yep.
Hosted so many times. They didn't have him last year. Of course, the slap happened.
Yeah, we know they didn't have him last year. I think everybody knows they didn't have him last year.
And actually, Chris Rock was asked if he wants to come back, and he said no.
Yeah, and
fair enough.
I think, other than that whole debacle of the slap, I think he did a good job. I mean, I really like Chris Rock, so I think he did. I think it was an eventful Oscars.
And Chris Rock's Netflix special just came out a week ago. I'm sure he timed that perfectly because he's
definitely think so.
The slap is going to be a conversation again now that the Oscars are happening. So we had Jimmy Kimmel. I always find it fascinating when a host needs to address something. There's no way he can't talk about it. It's the elephant in the room. So how did Jimmy Kimmel go about talking about it?
We want you to have fun. We want you to feel safe. And most importantly, we want me to feel safe. So we have strict policies in place. If anyone in this theater commits an act of violence at any point during the show, you will be awarded the Oscar for Best Actor.
Because Will Smith did still win.
Oh, yeah, I know. Yeah.
And permitted to give a 19-minute long speech.
And it was a long-ass speech.
No, but seriously, the Academy has a crisis team in place. If anything unpredictable or violent happens during the ceremony, just do what you did last year. Nothing. Sit there and do absolutely nothing. Maybe even give the assailant a hug. And if any of you get mad at a joke and decide you want to come up here and get jiggy with it.
I'll pause it there because I feel like he's also making fun of the Oscars themselves because, it was friggin' awkward. The slap happened.
Super awkward.
Everyone was kind of just standing around looking at each other this is weird.
Right. And and it took days afterwards to figure out exactly what to do with the whole situation. Do we kick him out? Do we not allow him? Do we take the award away? What happens? But I have 2 things to say.
Okay.
The fact that they had to put a crisis team in place for this year's Oscars, I think that's hilarious.
Well, I think that was a joke, right?
I definitely,
okay.
I know.
Just making sure.
I know, but part of me is I feel like the Academy might be there might have actually been. I don't know. And then the second thing is I wonder how Will Smith, his reactions and how he feels that he is the butt of every single joke at this year's Oscars.
Well, and you know what I find interesting about Jimmy Kimmel's spiel here? He doesn't outrightly
correct
for lack of a better term, he doesn't slap Will Smith with jokes.
Yeah.
He makes fun of the Oscars themselves a little bit more than Will, but everybody knows, like, Will is still the butt of some of these jokes.
Definitely.
And actually, he goes up back to your like crisis.
The crisis team.
He talks about all like the like heavyweights in the audience, because there's Michael B. Jordan, who plays like Creed in the most recent movie. There's Pedro Pascal, the Mandalorian.
Yeah.
He's like, you got to get through all these people to get to me now.
Yeah. But okay, so I did read an article. So I've read a few articles about Jimmy Kimmel hosting, and some thought his jokes and him hosting was, well done. They thought he did a good job. He's done it before. You know, it's just kind of a reiteration, like, just kind of smooth, for the most part, sailing through, some jokes, haha, blah, 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 on his way. But then I read a Globe and Mail article, and it was just saying how, like, it was boring. He shouldn't have done it. He did a bad job. And I was like, wow, the contrasts of like people writing these articles or like the few days after the Oscars, it always kills me, because they're written from a perspective of a biased perspective. Like, it's your own personal opinion writing these as to whether or not you liked that person doing that or whatever. It always makes me chuckle.
He could never win. I think he's the perfect choice, because like really any late night show guy would have been the perfect choice, because getting a comedian up there, the jokes might be a little bit more risque. These dudes do a TV show every single night. Yeah. Now he's just doing the Oscars. He's done it before. It's like, what is the safest bet? If they got like Amy Poehler and Tina Fey out there, I'd be like, yeah, sure, that's a safe bet. They've done it before. Why not? Yeah.
They went back to being safe with their crisis team and Jimmy Kimmel.
We brought a comedian on here, got the shit slapped out of him. Like, let's just go back to Jimmy Kimmel, please. Yeah. Let's go back to like accidentally saying Moonlight was the best picture, La La Land, whatever that fiasco was.
Yes, La La Land when
those
Moonlight
were
won.
the days. Now, the next category I have here are satisfying Oscars moments. I feel like we had multiple moments this year, more than any other year, that just, oh man, they just feel so good. In your heart of hearts, did we ever think that Ke Huy Quan would ever win an Oscar? He didn't even believe it.
I know.
Best Supporting Actor. I love that when he wins, the very first person he mentions is his mom.
Mom! I just won an Oscar.
I could almost tear up. This might be a weak
year
one.
in a refugee camp, and somehow I ended up here on Hollywood's biggest stage. They say stories like this only happen in the movies. I cannot believe it's happening to me. Dreams are something you have to believe in. I almost gave up on mine. To all of you out there, please keep your dreams alive.
Wow.
Devin's tearing up right now.
You know what? That tears me up.
Yeah.
And then they also had Harrison Ford present the award for Best Picture, which went to Everything Everywhere All at Once. So, of course, he comes on stage.
I know. It was
him and Harrison Ford embrace. Ooh.
It was, you know what?
He was the kid from Indiana Jones, right? So like,
yeah. And the Goonies.
And the Goonies. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is a weep. I am getting a little bit weepy here. It's just like
it's
he said.
It's a very special moment.
It is such a special moment.
And it's amazing. Like he said, follow your dreams, keep your dreams alive, and like go for it.
And he almost gave up on his, which is like, it's such a real world winner. He was so close to giving up on, and so many people go through these hardships that,
he had a hard time getting work. And
do you think, and I hate doing this, but I have to ask the question, did they know it was going to win when they decided on Harrison Ford presenting that award?
You were going to ask me this. That's such a good question.
Because that makes for great friggin' television, guys.
Oh, I'm sure the producers of the show were like, yeah, let's have Harrison Ford do this one. Because what I would love to know is how far in advance do they know what, like the presenters, do they know what award they're presenting? Like how far in advance? So
great question.
If everything had been lined up, ready to go, and they knew that Everything Everywhere All at Once was going to win, oh, Harrison Ford doesn't know what he's doing yet. Let's get him to do Best Picture. Like you said, producers, best, like that's great TV.
You get the special moment. I've seen that clip of them hugging many times.
All over TikTok.
I think as soon as because the announcers are, the presenters are announced like quite a ways out.
Yes.
I'm sure as soon as they realized this was going to win. I mean, conspiracy theory Devin's here.
I don't know.
But like, come on. It's too friggin' perfect.
It's
I think immediately they're like,
heartwarming.
Harrison's doing it.
I mean, okay, so on the flip side, though, could Harrison Ford have done the Best Supporting Actor?
Because,
right?
Shit. I think then it's a little bit too obvious. You get them to do Best Picture.
Maybe.
They're still on stage together, but it's not as clear as as Best Supporting Actor. That would have been wild.
As evident as like, oh, we chose him specifically because we knew he was going to win.
And then we have Michelle Yeoh, who actually is the first ever Asian identifying star to win Best Actress.
I love her.
Oh.
She was so good in Crazy Rich Asians. And I really, really want to see Everything Everywhere All at Once. Like, I really want to see the movie. And before it, it won Best Picture and everything like that. But I do really want to see it.
There's so many satisfying wins here this year. And like, Ki Hua Kwan, obviously, Michelle Yeoh, they've been around for so long, kind of struggling to find work at different times. Very satisfying wins on both those. Everything Everywhere All at Once. If you like just Google the amount of records that it's broken, I think it's now officially the most awarded film since like The Lord of the Rings or something like that. Actually, even more than Lord of the Rings, I'm pretty sure.
It did. It is more than Lord of the Rings.
Surpassed it.
Yes, it did.
Great. Well, I mean, it picked up Best Picture. It picked up at least 3 here. I'm sure it picked up a few other things that I haven't really stumbled upon as we kind of go through everything. But I don't know if this one's satisfying or not. Some people actually complained about it. But we got our first full trailer for The Little Mermaid. It happened during the Oscars.
So good. It looks incredible. I am so excited.
So some people did complain that it's like, well, there's like this Oscars moment and then multi-billion-dollar company Disney is just like, we're gonna wade in here and we're gonna play you a trailer for our new movie. It's very like,
well, okay, let's continue to talk about and complain about the Academy, about all the issues that there's like, really, that's what you're gonna complain about?
True.
There's
Somebody's always gonna complain about something.
Yeah, there's so
you're
many
right.
other things you can complain about instead of having Disney, it's the 100th year, I believe, and so this movie coming out, it's very highly anticipated, and I think it has a really great cast. I had no idea that Melissa McCarthy was Ursula.
Oh, can we
So
play
good.
this clip? Because it looks so good.
Poor child. I can help you. You can't live in that world unless you become a human yourself.
Is that even possible?
It's what I live for.
Oh. Because we know that Halle Bailey is going to be an amazing Ariel, but seeing Melissa McCarthy as Ursula, oh man.
It's good.
She
I'm
looks
excited
great.
for it.
That's going to be so good. That's coming out May 26th. So it was about time they dropped a full trailer, but
Yeah, I think it's been in the works for so long. I think there's people who want to see it, what it looks like, what it's going to come together as.
another, I don't know if this is a satisfying moment or not. We had Elizabeth Banks presenting like a visual effects award. Did you know she directed Cocaine Bear?
I did because I follow her on Instagram.
Like,
she's directed a bunch of stuff lately, like in the last few years. I mean, Charlie's Angels and like along those lines. I only knew she directed Cocaine Bear because it was all over her Instagram for a little bit.
I don't know what is happening with like supernatural drug-induced animals, because it's the same studio that brings us like 6 Sharknado movies. There's so many Sharknado movies. They're also coming out with like Meth Gator. There's an alligator that like consumed meth.
What I don't understand is that there's like an actual audience to watch these movies.
I think it's the same audience that watches all the Fast and the Furious movies. There's a crossover. If you look at a Venn diagram, it's like Cocaine Bear, Fast and the Furious. In the middle, it's a lot of the same people. Yeah, Sharknado's in the middle there somewhere, you know? But she brought a cocaine bear, not a real bear, it was a guy in a bear suit, out for when she was presenting that award.
Without visual effects, this is what the bear would look like.
It's just a beautiful bear.
It's terrifying. Stop it. No director wants to deal with us. Okay, what are you doing?
I just love the fact that Elizabeth Banks was our Cocaine Bear director.
Yeah,
I had
she
no
was.
idea.
Yeah.
That's so weird.
Yeah, I actually was so surprised. I was like, I had lots of questions. My biggest one was why.
Like, why is she directing it, or why did they bring the bear?
All of it. No, I mean, like, why was she directing it? Like, when it came out, she's like, "Oh, I'm directing Cocaine Bear." I was like, why? Like, why?
I think,
so many questions.
You know what? Some actors and actresses, they get to a certain point in their career, and you can tell that they're just like, screw it.
Let's
I'm
have
just
fun.
doing this is what all those Adam Sandler movies with
my
like the
God.
same 5 dudes are all about. They're like, do you guys want to go to Hawaii and shoot like a stupid movie? And 3 of them are like, yeah, sure. And then we have friggin' 50 First Dates.
Yeah, that's Adam Sandler since birth.
Yeah. He made enough money that he's like, I can just choose where to do all
my
these ridiculous
God.
movies.
I feel like he does that like at the very beginning though. That's what I mean. Like since birth, Happy Gilmore, like all of those movies.
All the Happy Madison movies.
God.
Yeah, I'm going to put Bob Barker in my movie just because.
Yeah.
Why not? You know? So those are our satisfying moments. Do you have any other satisfying moments that I've missed?
No, I think we're good. Let's move on.
The antithesis. I'm not using that word right. The opposite of satisfying moments, though, probably awkward moments. We did have some. They are very memeable.
Yeah, there are some really
I'm going to start with, and this has happened to her before, Ashley Graham on a red carpet.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes has weird moments.
Yeah. You know what? I think it's just, I know exactly what you're talking about, and I'm hoping you're going to play a clip.
Oh, for sure.
But I just think, I'm going to say this up front, that I think she doesn't ask the right questions
No kidding.
to prompt the actors to provide in-depth, like fulsome responses.
And
That's what I'm going to say.
It is weird when you're like, things are happening. There's somebody in your ear being like, okay,
Yeah.
like you need to talk to this person for 75 seconds.
Yeah.
Go. And this person shows up, you hand them a mic, and it's like, and you're on now. And you just need to talk to this person
Yeah.
for
And-
75 seconds.
And good for her, because you know what? She continued the awkward conversation through, and it doesn't even like, she did a good job, but it's just the questions she asked could have been a little bit more tailored.
Well,
like you're going
It's
to play
clear
the clip.
she had to stretch for time.
Totally.
She asked 2 questions.
Yes.
Both were duds. And then
Yeah.
she's like, oh, shit. I have nothing else.
What are you most excited to see tonight?
To see?
Yeah, well, I know that you probably watched a few of the movies. Are you excited to see anybody win? Do you have your hopes up for anyone?
No one in particular.
Okay, well, what are you wearing tonight then?
Just my suit.
Your suit? Who
Yeah.
made your suit? You didn't make it.
I can't remember my tailor.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Shout out to the tailor.
What is happening?
Yeah.
So tell me, what does it feel like to be in Glass Onion? It was such an amazing film. I really loved it. I love a thriller.
So I didn't even know he was in Glass Onion. Did you? We watched it.
We did watch it, and I actually don't remember him in Glass Onion. And even just like, what are you wearing? Well, he's clearly wearing a suit. Like, isn't the question more, who are you wearing? Isn't that how you ask that question? Like, who are you wearing? Oh, I'm wearing Versace. Like, that's like, or oh, you know what? My tailor made this specifically for me. Like, it was the way she asked those questions, and I mean,
Dude, hold up. We're talking a 62-year-old
Yes.
Hugh Grant.
Yes.
Don't even ask the question, because it's ridiculous. Like, he's not.
But even the question about like, you know, oh, you've been to the Oscars a few times. Yeah, man. He's been there like a bunch.
More than a couple, yeah.
You know, it's just the questions she asked, and I mean, I feel bad because like he didn't give her much. He gave her nothing to work with, which sucks. So I think it was both like awkward on both ends.
Well, but,
that's what I'll say.
Dude, even if I was going to the Oscars, God forbid, if Devin went to the Oscars and somebody's like, who are you wearing right now? I'd be like, I'd probably have an extremely similar
No.
response to him.
You know
like,
what?
I'm wearing a suit, guys.
All the boys know who they're wearing. They do.
Maybe I would. I don't know.
Oh, you know.
The answer to the Glass Onion question is so
Yes.
awkward, though.
How fun is it to shoot something like that?
Well, I'm barely in it. I'm in it for about 3 seconds.
Yeah, but still, you showed up and you had fun, right?
Almost.
Okay, all right. Okay. Well, thank you so much. It was nice to talk to you.
Yeah.
All right, back
So
to you guys.
he rolls his eyes at the end of this.
He didn't need to do that.
I think it was just so
watching.
awkward. But it's like, he has a new movie coming out, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yes, and
instead you're like, how about that movie you're in for like one scene?
Yeah, no, that I agree with. She could have said, "Hey, are you excited for your new movie coming out?" Like there were 100 questions she could have asked. Instead, she asked those. I mean, yeah.
Not the most awkward.
There's nowhere to go but up.
Yeah, she had, ironically, a more awkward moment on a red carpet. I can't remember. It might have been a couple years ago. There was a Jason Momoa moment.
Oh, see, I haven't seen that one.
It was Polynesian hakas, which have been happening forever. They're a really important cultural component to a lot of countries. The New Zealand rugby team, the All Blacks, though, I think it kind of became a big thing in pop culture where everybody kind of noticed, wow, like this is such an amazing piece of culture. So she was on the red carpet with Jason Momoa, and they talked about it, and she's kind of like, give me a haka. He's like, well, I wouldn't want to do one right now. And she's like, come on. And it was just very, very awkward.
Well, yeah, because if you're the person being told to do something and you don't want to do it, like let's say your suit's, a little like, you don't want to ruin your suit. You don't want to, crease, whatever. And like somebody's making you do that. It's awkward to just stand there and be like, no, thank you. And then she's like, yeah, come on. And you're like, no, like it's awkward.
It is awkward. Like imagine just for any other culture or religion being like, hey, do the thing that's really popular right now to talk about.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, no, this is my culture. I'm not like, you can't just make me.
But anything, it doesn't even have to be a cultural aspect.
Sure,
It's
yeah.
just anything that you don't want to do. Like, hey, you were in that gymnastics movie. Do a cartwheel on the red carpet. Like I'm wearing a dress. Yeah, do it right now. And it's like, no, thank you. And then
Also-
it's just like awkward, dead silence.
Yeah, everybody's been having some drinks, baby. Like, I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
Another thing about the red carpet, it wasn't a red carpet at all. Did you notice this? This year it was a champagne-colored carpet.
Champagne-colored carpet to go. Yeah.
Which, like, there was kind of a vibe this year that a lot of people wore white. There were a lot of white grounds.
Yep.
Gowns.
Gowns, yes. A lot of people wore white, or like within those shades of white. Yeah.
So it sucks. Like a lot of people were like, there would be such an amazing contrast between a red carpet and a white gown, and you guys landed on champagne. Just feels kind of weird.
Of all the things that, again, the Academy could change, they changed the carpet color. I mean, guys, there's other things to focus on here.
Think about how many meetings they probably had and how much pushback they had.
Yes.
One guy in a meeting was like, no, I'm firm on this. We should really change the color of the carpet this year.
This year, change the color of the carpet. We're not going to focus on the diversity or inclusivity portion that we should be focusing on. But let's focus on the color of the carpet.
Let's do that instead. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think we kind of, and I don't really have an opinion either way on this, but it's something that's being talked about a lot in the days prior to the Oscars. Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yes.
She won Best
Supporting Actress.
Yeah. Angela Bassett was up for it.
Yes, she was.
And
yeah.
She was kind of the front runner. Jamie Lee Curtis does win. There's a lot of discussion around like who should have won. Should it have been Angela? That kind of stuff. Even when Michael B. Jordan and his co-star went on stage to present another award, they kind of like referenced Angela being like, hey, auntie, like we love you very quickly. And then they moved on. So I think there are some people kind of questioning that win. I haven't seen either of the films in question, so I can't really make a judgment call on whether it's deserved or not deserved.
I think what's being called, so leading into the Oscars, Angela, I think, was the kind of front runner for that award. And then Jamie Lee Curtis ended up winning. But I think what's being talked about right now is that how Angela reacted when Jamie Lee Curtis's name was called. Now, Jamie Lee Curtis has never won an Oscar either. So, instead of standing up and clapping and smiling and, taking it in stride, I think people are talking about how she just sat there looking kind of pissed and whatnot. And that's not to say she shouldn't have won or it was not well deserved to win. And you know what? I think anyone feeling in that position, you just lost a massive award that you yourself think that you should have won. Like, yeah, you're probably disappointed, but you know, we talk time and time again about how, you know, us as women should be bringing each other up and not, you know, bringing each other down. So it's like mixed reactions, right? Like I'm on the fence of it as well. Like, you know, I understand how she could be frustrated with not winning, but, you know, let's lift each other up. It was also Jamie Lee Curtis's first time winning an Academy Award.
Let's dive back into people and things we can make fun of.
Perfect.
Austin Butler.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some people applaud him for this, for being so into the character. It drives me crazy. I can never not hear it. He played...
You mean of Elvis?
He played Elvis.
Right.
In that most recent movie. And I guess he got so into character that he adopted the Elvis voice.
Right. Yeah.
And now he can't turn it off.
Well,
to the point where they did like red carpet interviews with him. Listen to him. He's still...
that little fella.
By the way, that picture looks like it's from 1952.
It does.
How old are you, Austin?
Look at how long my tie is.
Yeah, that's a long...
That's 95, so I'm 4 years old there.
95.
It looks like
What
my
did
sister
you just
said
do,
something
you
else.
little rascal?
It looked like I just did something naughty, doesn't it?
Just the way.
It looks like I did something just naughty.
God.
Why is he still doing it, guys? And I'm not an actor. I'm never going to understand. But like, what is happening?
I mean, there's method acting to a point. The movie's done. It's wrapped up. It's come out in theaters. Everybody has seen it. You know,
God.
But I also read an article recently. Well, you know what? I didn't read it in full, but it had kind of said that he was going to stop using the Elvis voice.
That would imply that it is something that he can flick on or off, and he's choosing not to.
Well, so
that's weird then.
Yes, I know. There was he got a lot of flack a few months ago because people are like, is he putting on the Elvis voice? Is he not? Like, can he turn it off? Like, what's happening? And like all these people came to his defense saying, oh, you know, like he kind of talked like that before, but he's definitely put the Elvis voice on now. And then he kind of went through like, I'm not gonna use it anymore. And then I guess he still is at the Oscars. Like I was really surprised to see that as a headline. Like, oh, he's still using his voice. I'm like, oh, still okay. We haven't moved on from that. The method acting really sunk in.
Like for me, I would be worried about hiring him. Like if I'm a director, I'm like, oh wow, Austin Butler, such a hot actor right now. Too bad he's still talking like Elvis. How can I hire him in my movie if he doesn't stop talking like Elvis?
Well, what other things could he be in?
I was
he could adopt the accent.
Like who else sounds like that? That's the only people he can get cast as
or
now.
I was gonna say maybe he'll give him a different role, give him a new role with like a new kind of persona, and then he'll become that.
He can only play like 1950s gangster movies is all he can do right now.
Well, with
because
that
that's all he's doing. That's exactly.
Yeah. But maybe he'll adopt another one if he does another method acting type situation.
God. Then we should pick the most ridiculous.
That's what I'm thinking.
He should play like something like South African. Let's get him doing that accent, and then he'll adopt it for 3 years, and it'll be wild.
What a change that'll be from Elvis.
Imagine. You know what he reminds me of?
What?
Tropic Thunder, Robert Downey Jr.'s character.
I was just about to say that was in the news lately.
Was it?
Oh, big time. Big time. And Ben Stiller came to the defense of Robert Downey Jr. for that whole situation. Yes, it was quite the controversy.
Because the concept of Robert Downey Jr.'s character is that he's making fun of the Austin Butlers who get so into character that
method actors.
He thinks he's an entirely different human being for the duration of the movie, and it's ridiculous.
It is. Yeah.
Okay, that's all I have for awkward moments.
Yeah. Okay. So can we jump back to Hugh Grant for a moment and
sure.
Andie MacDowell? So they went to present an award, and essentially Hugh Grant makes fun of himself, calling himself a scrotum on national television, and then he says to Andie MacDowell that. This is what happens when you use moisturizer for your entire life.
He gestures to her.
She's got great skin. She looks great. You know, she looks fantastic. She's wonderful. And then we move over to him, and he says, and this is what happens when you don't. You look like a scrotum. I did think that was funny. I couldn't really read her whether or not she thought it was super uncomfortable and weird, which it kind of was. But Yeah.
I don't think it was that weird. I think anytime a guy is up there with a girl, as long as you self-deprecate yourself and lift the other up,
which he
you
did.
can make whatever jokes you want. I
mean,
think.
is there really any lower you can go other than calling yourself a scrotum? I don't know.
Just like there's something about British humor that he can say scrotum on live TV, and we're like, but he said it with a British accent, though.
Yeah.
So it feels a little bit more refined.
For sure.
Now we have musical moments.
Oh, yeah.
I can cruise through these really quick because it's kind of two. There's Rihanna, who did a rendition of Lift Me Up, which was on the Black Panther Wakanda Forever soundtrack.
Yes.
She had like a full orchestra in the back, a full choir. It's amazing. You can check it out. The meme that I saw this morning, or that you showed me this morning, is that like, it's like Rihanna's obviously pregnant. And they're like, that baby has already been to a Super Bowl and the Oscars, and I'm over here, I can barely get Taylor Swift tickets.
Yeah.
And it's true. Like, that kid, imagine looking back and being like, I was in my mom's belly for like all this amazing stuff. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That is unbelievable.
I performed at the Oscars and I performed at the Super Bowl.
Yo, if I was a kid, I would take credit for that. I'd put that on my resume.
IMDb.
Yeah, exactly. I performed at the Super Bowl. It wasn't like my voice, but I was there. I was a performer.
Yeah, it was happening.
Lady Gaga also did a great performance as well. And now we have a game. We couldn't get through a pod without a game of some kind, right? Sarah has her 6 male, female,
correct,
actors, best dressed.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, especially for the actresses, you know your boy Devin has no, especially female fashion sense, no idea terminology. In fact, I think everybody, maybe like 80% of people, I think look ridiculous. So Sarah's going to give her best dressed, specifically for the actresses. I will try to describe to you what their dress is, and we'll see how close I can get, I think.
Okay, so you don't want to do the guys?
I feel like they're all mostly just tuxes of varying trims and...
For the most part, yes.
Models and whatever.
Yeah. Okay, well, I'll go through the guys fast then.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have Austin Butler. He was in Saint Laurent. He was in a black tux with Cartier jewelry. His tux was very, very nice. Yes, good old Elvis. He may have an Elvis accent, or way of talking, I guess. But I did like his tux.
Oh, baby.
Then we have...
How was my Elvis impression? I think it wasn't bad.
Going on the whole time.
Was that annoying? It might have been.
Then we have Ki Hui Kwan, who looked impeccable in a classic Giorgio Armani tux, a Fred Leighton brooch, and an Omega watch with David Yurman cufflinks.
Wow, you're going all the way down to the watch.
Well, for some, yeah. And then, Samuel L. Jackson had a gold silk Armani suit on. He looked very nice. I really quite liked that. Some gold silk. Jay Ellis, he was in Fendi. He was in a really nice black suit, but it kind of had some texture to the top, to the suit jacket. I really liked it. He was in Top Gun Maverick, if you're wondering. Harry Shum Jr., he gives a classic stylist twist to a classic white dinner jacket with kind of an asymmetrical overlapping collar and a sash-like belt. It was really nice. I really liked it. It was kind of like an East meets West vibe. I liked it. Seth Rogen in Brioni, he had a white tux jacket with gray pants and a gray bow tie to match. And his wife, Lauren Miller, I couldn't find it for the life of me. So if somebody finds it, she had a gorgeous seafoam green gown on, and I was like obsessed with it. I loved it. Okay, for the women, I have to just say, I will put ahead of it, big statement jewelry to go with their gowns this year.
Oh, that's what I'll watch out for.
Yes, big time.
You were extremely concise and descriptive with the actors. So for the actresses, we start with Michelle Yeoh.
Yes.
This is... kind of like a frilly lampshade.
Oh my God.
White dress.
Yes, white. Beautiful.
There is a big watch, I feel. Is that a watch or is that just a random bracelet?
It's a bracelet.
Okay, random bracelet, white. She looks beautiful.
She does.
I like the earrings too.
Okay. So Devin's looking at photos of these, and he has asked that I don't actually confirm or deny what types of gowns these are, as well as the designers. I'm having a hard time, I gotta say.
You know what? You do have notes, so I did peek at the notes. It's a Dior dress.
Okay, thank you.
Next, we have Angela Bassett.
Yes.
Is it Bassett or Bassett?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Purple.
Oh, Bassett would have an E at the end. So
Bassett. Oh my
God.
She's holding a purse. It kind of looks like some kind of
Clutch.
Harry Potter trinket.
Sure.
It's like a globe.
Okay.
Purple dress though.
Ultraviolet. Yep.
Ultraviolet. My bad. It's got like a shoulder guard up here. On her left shoulder. Mm-hmm. It also has a wrap around her knees that looks like somebody's slowly trying to bring her down. You know, it's like somebody's trying to trip her by the knees.
Oh my God.
Looks gorgeous though.
Oh, I'm dying.
Also, what's happening with the jewelry?
So that's actually a statement necklace. It's a snake necklace. I can't remember.
I was actually
going to
say that it looked like a snake.
It is in my notes, but yes.
So we're manifesting Slytherin vibes here. We have the clutch that's like a Harry Potter trinket. We've got a snake jewelry
she's
thing.
Manifesting a new house with the color purple.
Yeah.
There you go.
Anna de Armas. I love her so much.
I love her dress so much too.
Her dress. Okay, so it's like we started making a dress. 70% down. We're like, let's do fish scales for the bottom.
Oh my God.
That's what it. Am I wrong?
It's a champagne color. It is a gorgeous, like almost trumpet bottom.
That's
it's
what
beautiful.
I was gonna say. Yes. Beautiful though. All these people, I'm poking fun. They're gorgeous, but like some of these dresses. Mindy Kaling, we have as one of your best dressed.
Gorgeous cutout dress.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Once again, we started from the bottom this time, going up.
I thought you were gonna go and started from the bottom.
Now we're here at 80% of the dress, and we're like, let's just start making lines places. Also, you know what really bothers me, and this is just male practicality. Why do we have like 3/4 sleeves for things? You know, those sleeves are not connected to the dress, right? Are they?
No, probably not.
So we're just like, hey, let's just keep.
It's a statement.
My knuckles to my bicep
it's
warm.
Haute couture.
But then the shoulders and the necklet totally open, not connected to the rest of the dress. And then we move on to, Emily Blunt, same thing.
Gorgeous. Love her dress.
Although,
as well.
honestly, this is pretty stunning. Mm-hmm. Yeah. This is just classic, though. There's nothing really happening here.
So, yeah, again,
perfect.
She's got some arms happening.
Well, yeah, the arms. I've already complained about the arms.
It's a fitted white dress. Like, you're giving them nothing here.
And then Rihanna.
Listen,
Rihanna can do no wrong.
Hey, you know what? Good for her for showing that baby bump. I love it. And she's in a leather. There's parts of it that are leather.
Yeah. And then the rest is like sheer black. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Honestly.
Yeah. So
she's killing it. Can we talk about how difficult pregnancy is as a male who did not go through with it, but just like just seeing other experiences, knowing how difficult and how tiring just the act of creating a baby can be. And this lady's like, yeah, I'm going to the Oscars.
And performing
3 weeks after I did a Super Bowl halftime show performance. Yeah,
she's
awesome. Pregnant.
She's amazing. Yes, I like how you throughout all of this, you've only actually said one designer.
Dior.
Yeah. So there's others.
Yeah.
And I also would like to say that I love that white was such a prominent color in the choices of dresses this year, because you know what? You don't have to wear or save white for only bridal. You know?
So Emily Blunt was a Valentino gown.
There you go.
Angela Bassett. The people who make cherries, Maraschino.
Maraschino.
Oh, Maraschino, my
not
bad.
Maraschino.
Anna de Armas was love the cherries.
Oh my God, it's not that.
Mindy Kaling had a Vera Wang dress.
Yes.
And Anna Louis Vuitton.
Yes, there you go, but it's not.
Oh,
it's
with
not
ruffled
maraschino.
Train. That's what they call the fish scales at the bottom of that.
Yeah.
That's nice. Mm-hmm. That sounds better.
Oh my God, that was that was fun, Devin. Let's do it again soon.
Oh God. don't. I thought they all looked lovely. It's just, come on, some of the dresses are silly, guys. And then a quick rundown of like the main categories, right? Best Picture, Everything Everywhere All at Once. Jamie Lee Curtis for supporting actress. Actor in a supporting role, Ke Huy Quan, obviously.
Best Actor, Brendan Fraser for Whale.
Yeah, we didn't really talk about him. That's also a very satisfying moment for
He
this
looked great in
Oscars.
his tux too.
He looked great. He did a great job. It's
Yeah.
been like a very, like the Renaissance. I don't know. It's something though. Everybody collectively has realized, wow, we let this guy go for so long.
Yeah, for
Why?
so long. Yeah.
And this has been the Rom-Com Rewind special pop culture roundup of the 2023 Academy Awards. If this is something you've enjoyed, throw us a message, fire us a DM at Rom-Com Rewind on Instagram. We're going to maybe do this here and there, but you'll be back to regular programming next week. In fact, you can get a head start on it. The movie's going to be Accidental Husbands, Uma Thurman, Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
It's a sneaky good one.
Not Hugh Grant, but the guy who fights Hugh Grant in Bridget Jones' Diary.
Colin Firth.
Colin Firth, that's right.
Thanks for listening.